As I said, you can start with the introductions. I'm working on making you host so that you can share your.
Okay. All right. So not so much. I will just like, hi everyone. Good evening. Um. So I am excited to be doing this. I hope that we all like at the end of this take one or two things away from the session at the end of the day. So I have my slides compiled so that we just take it from one step to another like that. But I'm waiting. So while I wait, I will just start by asking us. So as much as possible, I want this to be some interactive session where I wouldn't be the only one that will be talking. So you can send in your chats, you can send in your responses or any feedback via the chat. I would like my eyes is on it, so I'll be able to like share some response or whatever. So let's just start by of course the topic is customer journey mapping and how it impacts product management. But let's start by talking about the map actually. So I'll start by asking everyone. I'll start by asking when was the last time you used the map? I want to start that. So while Evelyn like helps to like get up the slides, let's just start discussing about that. So when was the last time you used the map and what did you use it for? Yeah. Please send in your responses. I am looking out for it. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Adeola,
Adela,
you're
you're
host
host
now.
now.
Yes, I can see that.
You can
Can
share
share
your
your
Thank you.
slide.
slide. Go.
Precious said that the last time Precious said the last time she used the map was last week and was for tracking a location. All right. Thank you, Precious. Who else? When was the last time you used the map? Or is it that we don't go out? I don't understand. I know that we go out, but then
Do
it
you
does
mean a
not even have
Google map?
to be. Yes, Google Map is map too now on its own,
Ah,
right?
okay. I use Google Map like every other day.
What do you say?
I said I use it like every other day because if I have
Okay,
to step
interesting.
out, even if I
Interesting.
know where I'm going to, I just still put it on the map just to be sure.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Thank you for sharing. So ideally, most of us use map like at least every other day, like Evelyn has rightly said. And why we use the map is really to find to like get clarity on where we are going or where we are coming from, that kind of thing. But really, the map is we use the map to navigate and understand the world around us, to find our way in unfamiliar places, and also to organize information. So there are a lot of they are quite very important. I mean the relevance of the map, right? But since we already like answered that, I'll just so I was just really trying to help us understand how much importance the map is in our life, and also at the end of the day, bring this into what we are discussing today, because what ends it is map, right? And if the map is important for our own daily interaction, for our own daily engagement, then how much more talking about your business and talking about a product you are developing and you are expending so much resources on. So some of the other things, why, of course, you want to know where a map will help you know. So if you are in the middle of a road, for example, and you are not sure where you are, one of the things that the map can help you do, thanks to Google Map, really, one of the things that it can help you do is to tell you where you are and also help you find your way. Just let you know how you're going to get to where you want to go. And to be fair, to be honest, um, it can save you from getting lost, and ultimately even save your life from danger and all of that. So I would like tag a map as a decision making tool, and also to help us understand, like in summary, the summary of this, help us to make decision. When I say decision making tool, I mean help us to be able to decide where are we going, where are we coming from, how do we want to proceed. If I want to buy a food and I want to buy food, I'm looking for a restaurant around me. I can use the map to identify which one is closer or which one is farther, and at the end of the day, make a decision, right? So I would say that number one is a decision making tool. Number two, I would say that it helps to understand the relationship among people, among places. Now, if we think about it from the angle of like a worldwide map, for example, there are different kinds of map, okay? Which customer journey map is one of them, really. So different kinds of map will tell you will bring you different kinds of information. Even on Google Map, you can switch to your physical environment. You can switch views such that you're seeing different kinds of things. You can look at traffic, for example, via Google Map, just to have like. So number one is a decision making tool. Number two, it helps to understand the relationship among places, among people, really. And ultimately, in this case that we're talking about, which is for customer journey map, it helps to understand the relationship between the customer and your product at the end of the day. So I will just go back to like slide one, which we're supposed to start with. And so on slide one, it's just a picture of this lady that is looking at the map, and I'm like, when I saw the image, what came to my mind was, are there people today who can read physical maps? I know that I cannot. Please, if you have ever been in a situation where you had to read a physical map, although to be fair, right, I think I have not actually, like, I've not had my hand on one. I know that I can learn to read, but if you have ever read a physical map, please, can you signify, can you let us know you, and what did you use it for as well? Yeah. Is anyone commenting?
Okay, this is evening. Good evening, everyone. So, for me, I've used the physical map, but not this big type that we have in geography. So, there was one when products started coming up. That should be 2008, 2007. If I still check, I should still have that map. So there was this company that was trying to create movement within Lagos for you to know your movement within Lagos. So they made the map. It's actually foldable. You could fold
Okay.
it, and it was really, really very small. When you fold it, it becomes a pocket size. But when you open it, it becomes very wide. Then was when I started applying for jobs. I just came out of school. So somebody gave me that. So when I'm going for interview, I'll quickly check just to know the area. So I'll be able to ask, okay, from my location, how do I get to so area? But I've been able to see the some spots around that area that I can ask. So that really helped me during that period, and I'm sure I still have it somewhere in my wallet or somewhere if I check. So that was my experience.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Today, right? Today would be um talking about, instead of now this physical map that this lady is holding the map of where we're talking about how helping. So the goal of this, right? At the end of the day, I want at least I want us to be able to understand better how the customer journey map impacts the product manager. Like what does the product manager have to do with the customer journey map, and also how to actually contribute to developing a customer journey map. So those are my two key objectives. And while I dive into it, I'll start by introducing myself. Okay, so my name is Adeola Afolayan, and I'm a product manager. I'm also a certified marketing and project management professional, and I am excited to do this with you. Thank you, everyone, for joining. So, moving away from that, yeah, okay, we already treated this slide, and thanks, Lawrence. I saw your comment. So I will start by talking about what is customer journey mapping and why it is important to the product manager. So to talk to define the what is customer journey mapping? Customer journey mapping is really a process of creating the customer journey map. That's like the the definition is a process. When you say mapping, it's a process of creating the map. So, and that is part of what we want to talk about today. We'll come to defining what the map is itself. I mean, what the customer journey map is itself, and also to explain why this is important, right? Why it is important to the product manager. I would need to like define some terms and also clarify some definitions. So I'll just, on that note, I'm going to just move on to the next slide. So first thing we're going to define is the product manager. I'll start by defining the product manager. And I believe that most of us that we are here, we have an idea of who the product manager is, what they do, and all of that. So really, this is one of so many definitions online that you will find, but I'm just going to pick it because it has a major keyword in there that I want to use and proceed to the next phase. So a product manager is a person who identifies the customer need and the larger business objectives that a product or feature will fulfill, articulates what success looks like for a product, and rallies the team to turn that vision into reality. All of this and so much more are what defines the work of the product manager. In fact, it is not very easy. Someone is saying something. Okay, I just said. So it's not even so very easy to like put the definition of what the product manager does when you think about the detailed work, the background work that is not visible to the world at the end of the day. But then I am going to pick out the customer need as a keyword here, as a major keyword. So um, let's just keep that like at the back of our hands, right? Let's just hold that the product manager needs to identify the customer need, right? So, and I would move on to talk about this Venn diagram that is here. I believe that almost everybody. I don't know if you are in product management and you have not seen this Venn diagram. I don't know. I don't know what product management you are doing, but ideally, so I'm going to just talk a little bit about this Venn diagram. So the red arrow says that the product manager is at the intersection of the user experience, technology, and business, right? So when they say that this other two, this technology and business and user experience, I am coming because so for the sake of this presentation, right, I would be interswitching user with customer, right? They do not exactly mean the same thing, but for the purpose of this presentation, would be using them interchangeably. So when you think user experience, also think customer experience, that kind of thing. So because okay, so let me just like go like this. If you're going to identify a need, then you need as much information about that person as possible that you can find. You need to understand their behavior. You need to understand why they even need the products, your products, what they need, what their exact need is ideally. So, and like I was saying, this Venn diagram really just illustrates the key knowledge areas to focus on as a product manager, right? You need broad knowledge on each of these three fields. I mean, user experience, technology, and business. You don't want to, this does not mean that you become an expert in business, or you become an expert in technology, or you become an expert in user experience. So, but you need enough knowledge to be able to make decisions from the view of user experience, right? This meeting is being recorded. Okay. Yeah. So from the view of the user experience, we'll just proceed to like talk about user experience more. This so I am like blocking out both technology and business now, and just going to proceed with talking about user experience. Just a little bit of definition. What user experience is, really interaction that a user experience is any interaction that a user has with the product. And really, I know that user experience is also part of design. It's not only design. There is an entire field that is user experience itself. So it's really just about how the user interacts with your product or service. The goal of the UX design is to create easy, relevant, and pleasant experiences for the user. It is very helpful for decision making when you're trying to balance requirements between business and engineering. Think of engineering here as technology as well. It also contributes to your product success metrics. So when I say product success metrics, I mean your user acquisition, the way the user, if a user is happy with your product, then they can tell somebody else. They can, if they are satisfied, they can come again. I mean, they can become a return customer. They can continue to use your product. They might not switch. So all of these metrics, which are important to the product manager, are also entwined into user experience. Is user experience that will help you understand, okay, how well is like how are user acquiring my product? Why are they using it? How do I satisfy them better? What is the retention? And this does not go to say that the core aim of your product is not important. It is very important, but I'm going to paint a short scenario pretty soon. But let's just keep going first. So here is a quote from Product School that talks about delivering a simple and delightful journey to end users is the main goal of the product development process. Now, as a product manager, you want to start thinking about how the journey, how the service or the product you are rendering to the end user provides them not just value, but also they are happy using it. They enjoy it. They love it at the end of the day, right? Um, you want to, at the end of the day, also build a product, a solution that the customer loves, that the end user loves, right? So I'll proceed to the next slide. At the core, please, if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat box. All right, I'll just keep going. So at the core of developing user experience, there are two key concepts. So having understood user experience now, in user experience, there are two key concepts there, which is one of them is customer persona and the customer journey map. And these two are really tools that you can use to understand the customer and how they interact with your product. You can have the way these two tools work. Of course, there are other concepts in user experience if you really dig deep, but these are like very, very basic and very primary. I don't know that you should have a user experience team or in your organization if you are very user centric and you do not develop a customer persona and you do not develop a customer journey map. Also, the customer, you can have a customer persona without having a customer journey map. I don't know if you understand, but you would need a customer persona to develop a customer journey map. So that is why this is popping up, right? Um, so I will just go ahead to tell us a little bit about the customer persona. Then afterwards, I'll show you an example. Then we can now dive into the customer journey map, our ultimate destination. So for the customer persona, there are chances that you have heard about it here and there. Is really a visual representation of who the customer is. Who the customer is. You want to think of their age, you want to think of their gender, you want to think of their occupation, you want to think of location. All of these demographics, as well as their psychographics, which is some of the things that you cannot quantify really, but they are things that impact the values of the user at the end of the day. They would influence how they interact with your products, and it will help you to better understand them. Yeah, thank you. So for the customer persona, right, there are a number of other names that it is called. It is sometimes called the audience persona. It is called the marketing persona. It is called the buyer persona. You can even call it the user persona, depending on what context you're talking about it, right? And just to like really shine more light into it, um, if you have a bank application, for example, so a business can have, I mean, a product can have 2 3 user personas or customer persona, a single product. So let's take a bank application, for example, a bank app. Your bank app, the bank app that myself and you use, people that are our parents use it, right? In that age bracket, they use it. And people that are even way younger, I mean, say like 18 years old or 16 years old. I think 18 is like the the legal age to use such to have a bank account really, to operate a bank account. But then people in that demographic, they also use the bank app, right? And the way they would interact with that application is not the same way. I mean, the way our parents would interact with a bank application is not the same way a millennial will interact with a bank application, right? So whosoever is building that bank app needs to like put the customer, the user, at the back of their mind and think of what is easy, what is better, what will not slow them down, right? So these are the ways this customer persona helps to inform the product development process. I hope you are following me. So this is an example. I have an example of it. I created this. I was training a program, and I was tasked to creating this. So just some background context about this. Um, she's a mom. Her name is Ulua Tosin Smith. She's a mother, and what is her goal, right? So one of the things with the customer persona is, number one, you'll find 1,000,001 templates on the internet, right? There are loads of templates that you find. Also, the key thing when you are like, trying to develop it is to have at the back of your mind what business, what product you're developing it for, what is your end goal. You also want to bring the customer's own goal into the picture. What are they trying to achieve? And at the end of the day, you want to be able to come to a level ground, come to a middle ground, such that you are able to meet the customer's need. You know the customer's need, and you're able to meet it. So for this person, for this persona, right, it was a confectionery business, and this woman, she's a mom. She's married. She's 32 years old. Her primary goal was to nurture her family, and she enjoys celebrating special moments. During celebrations, she said, "I love to." So this is a quote from herself. She said, I love to have cakes as staples. I often look out for stores to buy fresh and beautiful customized pieces. So she likes to celebrate already. So she is an ideal customer for a confectionery business, which is just launching a new destination, a new location. Yes, thank you. A new location in um, a particular area. So this is about her. We want to know. The goal of this really is to identify her. What does she care about? She cares about her family. She wants to take care of them. So, and I also added a picture just to give you like a good context of who she is better and what her goals are. So at the end of the day, right? You want to be able to like find a middle ground where the customer's goals intersect with your business goals, right? Um, do you have any question, or should I just keep going, Evelyn? I want to like take us now into the customer journey map. So this is about the customer persona, and like I said, you can get as many templates as you want on the internet. This is just a very simple and easy to like take away kind of templates that I use. So moving away from that, we now come to our customer journey mapping. And like I said at the beginning, that it was really a process. It's really a process of creating the customer journey map itself. And just a bit of definition. Um, a customer journey map is a visual representation of the customer's experience with a company. Now, if you look at this definition, you want to think back to um, the map that we started with at the beginning of this, thinking about how the map is also a visual representation of places, of locations, of destinations. So, and also understanding that our everyday map that we use, right? We use it to like make decisions whether you want to go to a place or you don't want to go to a place, whether you want to take a certain path or you don't want to take a certain. In fact, so much more. Google helps us today to like talk about whether there's traffic in a particular area, whether it's good or you should just sit back in your office instead of launching on the road at a certain period of time, right? So of course, interrelated, but um, very similar goal, right? But in different contexts. Yeah. So also a customer journey map shows what your customers are doing, what they are thinking, what they are feeling at each stage, and how they change at each stage. Now you'll be wondering that um, the regular map, because we are trying to just like bring them together now. The regular map that you use, it doesn't show doing, doesn't show thinking. But one thing I want to let you know is, number one, there are different types of maps. Number two, the different types of maps we compare different things, but ideally the journey map in this case for customers is a little bit different. So this is what you're going to be seeing in what is in a journey map. What the customer is doing, how they are thinking, how they are feeling, because at the end of the day, all of this sums up to the customer's experience, right? So um, okay, so also one of the things that this helps you do is to uncover gaps in your user experience so that you can improve and prevent churn, right? When you know where the customer is not feeling happy, when you know where what they are thinking at certain time, when you know how they are using a particular feature on your app, then you can like sit back and really think of, okay, how can I improve it? How can I do better on this, right? Yeah, so we'll just like proceed to developing the customer journey map and what are some of the things that you need to keep in mind while you are doing it. So number one, we need to all understand that it is a team effort for all individuals. It's a collective effort for all individuals in the product development. that are involved in product development. The more you understand, the more every member of the team. So when I say the product development, I'm talking about engineering, I'm talking about marketing, I'm talking about sales. And so a collective effort. So it doesn't mean that one person has to do it. As a product manager, you want to be like at the center of everything. You want to be able to talk about it. You want to be able to understand it. So you can take ownership of this. Although it is a tool, this is a tool that is very, very useful for both the design team, for both the marketing team, for even the business management overall. So that's number one. Then number two, it is the customer's experience, not your company's. So it is one thing to like it's one thing to draw up, okay, you want the customer um to input their name first. You want them to input their name, then before they now click on the button, then before they now fill the form. It's one thing to say all of that or to have all of that as your own roadmap for your product development process. It is another thing for the customer to like take their own. So for example, if you already have A, B, C, D, E, F steps that you want the customer to take in order to achieve a certain goal, right? And somehow you do not know because maybe you don't have a journey map, maybe you have not really done this process. You do not know um, of course, you are thinking that they will take A, B, C, D steps, but the customer ends up taking, say, A, then they go to D, then they go to F, then they come back to B, that kind of way. So this is one of, like, it gives you insight, but it is also the customer's experience. It's not the way you planned it, it is the way the customer is going through it. That's why you should always, you want to always keep this at the back of your mind, that it is not about your company, it is about the customer. Also, you want to also always remember that the customer is looking to solve a problem. So when you pick up a map, you don't just pick up a map just for fancy or just to be happy. You want to pick up a map, maybe you're looking to go somewhere, or you're finding something, or just really for the customer, they're looking to solve a problem, even though it is something that they want, even though they want to like get something, they want to use a product. Let's come back to our banking app, for example. Somebody wants to like send money to somebody, to their friend, for example. They want to send money and they're looking to do something to solve a problem, and your solution provides that. So you want to always think of, okay, what is the best route to help them do this? How will they feel when they are doing this? What can I reduce the number of steps that they will take to be able to do this so that everybody is happy at the end of the day, right? Um, sorry, excuse me. Okay. All right. So having said that, number four, it is also a living document. So the customer journey map is a live document that you can update as you learn more about the customer, as you gather more insights, you continue to like update it from time to time. It's not something that you just do once and maybe you just paste it on the wall and bam, you're done. As your business grows, as you know more about the customer, you you continue to like update it with new information, with new feedback, even if you had improved your own product. Eventually, this I feel like it is given. It is a product of research and insight about the customer. So even the CJM itself is a product, right? Um, it is after so this is a little bit like you might want to contest it and say that, oh, a product that you have not built, how are you getting research and insight about the customer, right? But the truth is, even though you're building it as a new product, it's not new. Like it's not a new, it's not a new thing
Is it
that somebody has got that kind of problem
not
before.
just on sports media, but general. I don't mind, all that stuff.
I okay. So I was saying that is not it's not totally something that is new to the world. Somebody has some data about it, somebody has some information about it, somebody has done something similar to it before. So you want to dig deep into this insight and be able to come to a resolve and solve this uh, and use it to build your customer journey map at the end of the day, right? Okay, I'm just trying to check my note and hope that I am not missing anything out. Um, okay, all right. So eventually, at the end of the day, also wanted to mention that no two customer journey maps are the same. So because they are different products and there are different journeys and there are different kinds of customers, like your when I gave the example about our parents as a target audience, as a customer segment, their goals does not necessarily like equal to our goals, and the way they would interact with a technology product is not the same way somebody that is a millennial, for example, would interact with the technology product. So it's not the same for every business. So it is unique, and you can like put in your own style. You can put in your own vibe. In fact, if you check the internet again, just like the customer persona, there are thousands of templates that you find for the customer journey map as well. And you want to be able to pick the one that suits your own business needs, that is able to help you understand how the customer interacts with your business, because how the customer interacts with your product or your service, because at the end of the day, that is what all of this is about. So still going on to discussing how the customer discussing how to develop the customer journey map, right? The other thing we want to talk about would be certain terms that are related, and these are some of the things that would maybe not so much confuse, but that would really matter when you are developing a customer journey map. You need to keep all of these things in mind at the back of your mind. So the first one is the customer persona. We talked about it earlier. So you need a unique for each customer journey map. You need one customer persona. So based on our definition of the customer persona is an ideal representative of who your target customer is. So the way to create that is really try to like take a cluster of some of your customers and bring out the things that are common among them. For example, you can say they are between the ages of 18 to 25. It doesn't mean that everybody in that bracket is age 18 to 25, right? But they fall into that category. Or you can even pick a medium age because they have similar characteristics. So you want to develop your customer persona, you need to develop your customer journey map, you need a customer persona on the site, right? The next thing would be the user journey. So the user journey is really a user's path to achieving a goal. So a goal can be, I want to sign up for this application. I want to sign up for this application. I want to um, let me say, I want to add this product to cart. I want to pay for this service. I want to solve a problem. I have a particular issue and I want to be able to resolve it. I want to be able to use this feature on this app. So all of these things are a customer's goal. There are things that a customer might be looking to achieve. And the part that they take there is usually from, do they know that it already exists? Do they know that it's going to work for them? Do they know that that is the best option? Are there other options as well? What does it cost them? Is it their money or their time? How long does it cost them? So all of these things are things that you get to factor into your customer journey map, right? It's usually this marketing funnel where there is, the user journey usually have this funnel of how the customer is proceeding from one phase to the next. So starting from discovering this feature or discovering this product, to them now evaluating whether, oh, does it work for me? Is this the best thing that I can use? Does it solve my problem? Does it fulfill my need? Right. So it now takes them on to the step of, so if you even think about it as an individual, if you consider you how you start using a particular product. For example, the first thing is usually you knowing that it exists. When you know that it exists, then you want to start considering, oh, do I even have enough megabytes to be able to download this application? I mean, do I have enough memory on my phone to be able to download this application? Can I use it on my mobile device and all of that? So all of this journey is also something that you need to like have at the back of your mind when you are developing the customer journey map. Also, the next thing will be touch points. So touch points are just channels or mediums that a customer will engage or come in contact with your product or service, usually online or offline. Say, for example, social media. Say, for example, um, um, ads, Google ads, or even social media ads, or billboards, banners, flyers. All of these things are touch points. And what you want to be able to do as a business or as a product manager really is to ensure that at each of these touch points, as much control as you have as a product manager, you want to ensure that the customer experience is a good one, that the customer is happy, right? So that is why this is very, very important. You want to ensure that whether it is that they're calling the support team, for example, you want to be able to like put in processes, put in systems in place to ensure that their interaction with your product is a good one, is a delightful one, really. So the next one will be opportunities. So this is also a key item that is
Sorry,
usually on the
hi
customer.
Adela.
Yeah, yes,
Okay, sorry, a bit
sure.
of feedback. Can everybody see Adeola's slide?
Yes, I can
Yes.
see it now.
Okay. Can everybody see it? Okay, yes. All right, fine, perfect.
Wait, is it that you are not seeing it before?
Yeah, I think it was the network. I think it was the network
Okay,
from our end. So I
okay.
asked her to relaunch and I wanted to confirm that it's fine.
Why did you take off my screen?
All right.
Even you took off my screen while asking now.
Very precious.
Why? I'll exit and come in. Thank you.
All right. I'm looking at the time now and I'm like, really? I'll be this far long, but we are kind of like wrapping up really. So moving on, right? So for opportunities, you want to know what you can do. So if you discover that your product is not, that the user doesn't enjoy, say the processes of getting into to a particular point for your product is like too long and whatnot, you want to be able to like find out how can you delight the customer, how can you improve on that part. One other key term that I did not like, I'm almost keeping, is the moment of truth. So moment of truth is usually very much useful for the marketing team, but it's always on a user persona as well. It's always on a customer journey map as well. So it is really just the interaction which a customer may form an opinion or impression about your brand. It is very similar to touch points. The difference between the moment of truth and touch points is touch points keeps it takes into context channels or mediums, but moments of truth are like very tangible periods where something just happens, and say like a customer badges into your, like, a customer goes to a bank and says that, oh, my mobile app is no longer working, and what happens at that point? That is such what happens at that point, and you want to like salvage the situation. So that particular period where something goes wrong and the customer is trying to get, because if the customer eventually likes what happens to them, they'll become a lifelong user. But if the customer does not enjoy what happens to them, or they have a bad experience with, say, your customer service rep, or they call a customer agent and the person just bashes them on the phone, that's like the end. The end. So that's why this is called moment of truth. They are like very critical steps in a customer journey, such that a wrong move might result in losing the customer, while the right move can help you gain lifelong advocates, really. So that is, and also it's an opportunity for you to leave a lasting impression on the user. So one needs to be very, very careful when we are identifying this moment of truth and whatnot. So I'll just go ahead and show us examples of what the customer journey map looks like, and a personal example that I worked on as well. So here is one. Okay, so you can, just like a random exercise, really, you can try searching customer journey map online, and you would be able to find different templates that will suit your needs. Some are very much comprehensive, and some are comprehensive than others. And the best one for you will be the one that will help you identify your customer's problem, the steps they take in achieving your goals, and that are related to your products, and how they are feeling at each step. So this very one that I have on the screen is a sample that I got on Google. So it's just like very plenty, and you're wondering, oh, what is going on here? It's just a lot. But I'll also try to walk us through how to create one for your product as well. So this is okay. Yeah, so this is a customer journey map that I built. So if you recall the woman that I showed you, the mom persona that I showed earlier, this was the customer persona for her. This is the customer journey map for her when she's interacting with the business. So firstly, this so like I said, there are different templates, and based on your goal, you will find the one that suits you, really. For instance, a product manager might be looking to like optimize their onboarding process, and they want to find out, okay, how does the customer find out about us, about the business? What's the first step that they take? What's the next step that they take? So all of these things can be factored into the customer journey map, and you just tag that for onboarding. You can have a customer journey map for adding products, for purchasing a product, an e-commerce product, or for signing up for a course, or whatever the goal of your product is, right? So you can have different customer journey map depending on your goals as it relates to your business as well. So for this one, really, I just wanted to walk us through a little bit of how some of the things that we have discussed, and how it is like very obvious here. So firstly is the stage. So the stages that are here, that's the research, the evaluation, is that user journey that I talked about, I was trying to explain earlier. Then for this person, they go from research to evaluating to purchasing, then use and monitor, then what happens after they have purchased. So it's just like a step-by-step thing that they go through. For their goals, the first thing, what they do during the research process is they want to find a cake store that is near their home. Perhaps they had a challenge as a user. Maybe they live in a vicinity where, okay, so just really talking back about that persona, right? That woman, she is a working class mom, and she has so much, she doesn't have so much time on her hands to be baking cake by herself. She cannot always do it by herself. So she's looking for a store that is near her home, where, oh, if they just quickly need a cake, they'll just easily go there. They don't need to pay so much high costs in delivery, and the cake is also very good as well. And she can also easily just walk into the place, and she's sure that nothing bad will happen to the cake while she's also trying to get the cake. So she wants a store that is very close to her home. How does she find a store? She will go through online research. She can find one on social media. She can find one maybe just talking to a friend, or she can find one via posters. Say the business has a signboard at the front of their office. So this is really just for a business, but you can also place it for the context of a product, really. Also, so for the service satisfaction, you want to think of how the customer feels when they are interacting, when they are doing their online search, when they see you on Google, on social media, when an ad pops up on their face, and how do they feel? If the ad is like very nice and enticing, then probably the customer will just smile and be like, oh, okay, I like this, and maybe they would even save it, really. So at the end of all of this, I would have put an opportunity there to say, okay, why is the customer not happy? Because these emojis are saying that the customer is not happy during this research phase. Maybe they are not finding what they want. Why are they not happy? How can I, as a business, as a product manager, how can I make them happy? So that is where the opportunity part comes to play. Also, during the evaluation phase, they learn about products and services that are available. Say now they are now evaluating, they are now considering your business. For example, they are considering your products. They want to go on your website and see that, oh, okay, the information they are writing is in sync with what I'm looking for on their website. The social media, they are active on social media. That means that they take their business seriously. They have an online forum. That means that they really want to like interact with their users, with their customers at the end of the day. So these are just examples of how you can like interact with the customer, how the customer engages with the business while evaluating. During the evaluation phase, these emojis are not looking good. They're saying that the customer is still not happy. Why are they not happy? How can we make them happy, right? So for the moment of truth, right, there are different definitions. So what could go wrong? When you're thinking of moment of truth, you want to think of what could go wrong during the research phase. Say the customer is researching and they just decide to, they just go on your social media page and they find a bad customer review. That is like a very, that's not a good impression, right? That's not a good impression. And they will just leave. They are like going to check out the next product, for example. So so the way the moment of truth is labeled is just like 0, 1, 2, 3, and all of that. So what happens is we come back and define, okay, this is what happens during this 0 moment of truth. This is what happens during this first moment of truth, and all of that. I hope that somebody is not thinking of, oh, this is a lot of work, but it is usually very worth it because you are able to like optimize for your customer and say that, okay, they don't like what is happening at this space. They are not feeling happy. They are not, it doesn't become a delightful product, right? So going on, so when they now get to that phase where they want to purchase the products and they order a cake, say they order via your mobile app, for example, and say the process of even downloading the mobile app, are they happy? Does it make them happy? That's a touch point. The process of getting into like calling your agent or chatting via the mobile app, is it seamless? Do they enjoy it? So these are all touch points. If they are contacting you on your social media channel, is there somebody that is responsive, that responds to them on time, right? Do you have a template for replying them on social media already? That kind of thing. Also, when they go to your physical store, are there good customer agents that would respond to them? So all of that in this very one, the customer is still not happy. I don't know why they are not happy, really. But the goal is to optimize each of these stages such that the customer is eventually happy, at least happy enough to be able to move on to the next phase, right? So when it comes to using and monitoring, they are celebrating with the cake and um, the customer wants to celebrate maybe a son's birthday with a cake, right? And they eventually go on your support channels, they talk to your delivery person, they send you a feedback, and at this point, the customer is happy. So you remember, if you recall, when I was saying that the experience is about the customer, it's not about the business, right? All of what I've been saying now is about the customer. And I'm just really using this as an example, and I know that you can always translate it into like for your products, right? So, for the last one, the customer becomes an advocate. They start telling other people about you. They come back to use your products. They come back to use your service, right? Because they like what they felt in the second phase, like in the second to the last phase. So all of these things are so if I had the opportunity part in this image, then I would have said, oh, so they are very happy. Can I make them happier, or should I just leave them like that? Is there an opportunity? Is there something that is like maybe another customer might not, that is tricky, that we need to just update, say like just an update that I need, or something that we have learned newly about the product that we need to work on. So all of these are what you want to keep in mind when you're developing. This is also another example. This is quite clumsy, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is to show you that thinking, feeling, that doing kind of like idea. Also, in this image, you would see the channel and device, right? You would also see the opportunity being clearly stated out. This one was a template online that I found, and also for the phases, for the journey, for the user journey, which is the one that is above the first rule, it is very much different from the previous one, and you would definitely find different types, and you have to like just come and choose the one that works for you. For this person, this particular journey map, it was for someone who recently got a car, a new car user that is looking to get insurance for their car, and just walk through each of the goals that they need to like go through in order to be able to get a car insurance for their car, for their vehicle, really. So this is definitely a product, a technology product. So that's like a mobile app or thereabouts. So let's just go into what you need to create your own customer journey map. We have talked about the key terms and how a customer journey map looks like, but then how do you do your own if you're looking to do it? What do you need to keep in mind? Um, number one thing is you start with a goal that the customer is looking to achieve, or you want the customer to achieve with your business, right? The customer journey is really going from a point A to a point B, say like a sign up, say a subscribe, say you want to launch a referral program, you want to launch a new product, you want to drive visits to, you want people to use your new feature, you're just launching it. So all of these are goals that you want the customer to be able to do on your product. And so you start your user map you start your customer journey map with that goal in mind. Now, what do you want to happen at the end of the day, right? So the next thing is you now brainstorm actions. So all of this you're going to do them before you even like have a template in hand, really. The next thing is you brainstorm actions in the customer journey. So how do they discover your products? How do they um, how do they discover your products? How do they sign it? What is their first engagement with the product? What will aid them when they are considering whether to choose a Fidelity Bank or whether to choose a Stanbic Bank, for example? So all of those things really matters when they're trying to download. Do they need to download before they're able to send money, or can they just use like a USD code? That's a different product entirely, really. So all of these things are the actions that you have to like make a list of, and just make a list of them and set it aside. Number three is you want to choose a customer who is a representative of the key customer segment. So that's it. customer persona. You want to have a customer persona and say, okay, Mr. Smith is a customer in this case, and we want to draw up a journey map for every Mr. Smith that is using this product. Number four, you want to gather insights about the customer. Of course, the customer journey map will help you gather insights, but sorry, is a place where you bring the insights that you have gathered about the customer. So, excuse me, I was trying to catch my breath. So for gathering insights about the customer, right, it could be via your analytics. It could be from a competitor app or from a competitor platform, really. It could be by speaking to users. It could be by speaking to your own colleagues, the marketing team, the sales team, for example. So just really people you want to speak with your colleagues at work, that people that interact with the customers. You want to gather insights from every available resource that is leading you, that will help you to achieve your goal. Then finally, you come and build your customer journey map. Let's look at what that looks like. Okay, we have seen it, but then just like a first step for what you need to do to get your customer journey map in place. The first thing ideally is to like drop your x-axis. That's like the x-axis is the horizontal axis. That's the one above, and that is what as your buyer journey, the buyer funnel. That's awareness, that's evaluation, that consideration, that purchase, that's advocate phase. That is the x-axis. You want to draw that up. That is more like a constant. Then the next thing is you want to also have your y-axis. The y-axis have they include activities that are happening as the user goes through every stage of the journey. So at a very simple level, what are they thinking? What are they feeling? What are they doing? What channels are they using to engage? What are their goals and experiences really? So you want to capture this based on the key terms that I have defined. You also want to include the opportunities on the y-axis so that you're able to say that, okay, if the feeling, if their engagement during this phase is not pleasant, how can you make it delightful? How can you make it better? How can you improve it? That kind of thing. So just once again, what I tried to do here was really just like put it first step by step as to how all of this comes together. But eventually my slide is just doing its own. So but I believe that you get the gist. So if we start from these stages, we start from stages, then we now go on to like list out the goals, the touch points, depending on the template you find online. At this time, I'd like to appreciate everyone for listening in, for joining, and thank you so much. Please, do you have any questions? Thank you.
Please, let's have the previous slide.
Okay, previous slide. All right,
Yes.
just give me a second. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yes, let's have it here. I'm trying to digest this one very well.
Okay, someone is asking a question. Wow. I'm just checking my, like, I'm just able to see my chat. Sorry, guys, I didn't realize